A few months ago, my husband's niece was visiting Bay Area, which is where I live, and she and I got together for a cup of coffee for her and tea for me. During our coffee tea session, she told me that she had gone through a breakup a while back and now she was ready to find someone new. And, she said that she was feeling especially antsy because recently her close friend got married and was starting a whole new life with her husband. And, she was just feeling like she was getting older and she was not even dating. And so she was kind of feeling like she was falling behind in life. And in a moment of complete vulnerability, she asked me for some advice. She asked, "How did it happen for you? How did you find a partner?" Well, for context, I've been married for a while. My husband and I met in college, and after several months of knowing each other, we officially started dating, and blah, blah, blah. In a nutshell, we got married years later. But when I was in her position, I remember feeling the same kind of anxiety as she was feeling. I remember feeling like I was going to be alone forever and I'm never going to be able to find a partner. I'm never going to be able to settle down, all that anxiety. I remember that. I remember it so clearly. Now, being married doesn't mean I've arrived at a certain destination and that's it, But I am in a stable, committed relationship, building a life together with a partner, and that's exactly what she wanted. Anyway, at the time when she and I were talking and she asked me that question, I think I said some gibberish or whatever. I don't remember what I said, but I know it wasn't anything good. But as I was coming home, I kept thinking about the question long after our meeting was over. And I really wished that I had given her some advice that I wish someone else had given me when I was in her situation, So guess what? Since my moment with her is over, I thought I'd share this with you guys instead. How to attract a love relationship. Step 1. Become a human magnet. The thing that no one told me about, and I wish they had, was that the easiest way to attract someone into your life is to create a magnetic, energetic pull. You have to be a human magnet. To understand what I mean, let's look at how a magnet works. Now, magnets generate an invisible magnetic field that extends beyond the object. Now, there are particles inside anything and everything. If you look at a metal, there's particles inside that. And it's usually not moving or it's moving very slowly. Like it almost looks like it's not moving at all, So that's just what an ordinary metal looks like. Now, if you were to electrically charge those particles inside that metal, it's going to start moving. And as it's moving, it's going to create an electrical field, which becomes a magnetic field. And that magnetic field is what attracts other metals to itself. Got it? Now, to attract anyone, you have to be a human magnet. How you do this is by electrically charging the particles inside of you so that those particles would start moving so that it would create an electrical field or a magnetic field. Well, that's a metaphor, so, just bear with me, okay? The particles inside of you are your qualities as a partner. So those qualities could be loyalty, kindness, sweetness, playfulness, sexiness, smartness. Is it smartness? Smarts. Intelligence. Anyway, that and vulnerability, sensitivity, all that. Those are your particles. Those are the qualities that would make you a good partner. Okay? Now, if you haven't dated in a while, these qualities might be dormant inside of you since you might not have had a chance to display them, take them out, exercise them, So you're probably, if you're alone in your house or your apartment, you don't really have a chance to display your, let's say, playfulness or sexiness. You know what I'm saying, right? You're just kind of you. You just usually probably just wear sweatpants or whatever, comfy wear. And, you probably have your hair all like not brushed. Come on, guys. I mean, I know that's how I am usually 24/7, whatever, We know. Let's not pretend. We know. Anyways, so going back to my point. The key is to wake these qualities up from its dormancy and get them moving. Remember, you gotta get them moving so it'll be electrically charged so that it'll create a magnetic field, which will create a magnetic pole, right? So, how in the world do you wake these qualities up from its dormancy when you don't have a partner? So how? Well, it's not that hard, actually. You do this by you actually getting into the emotion of it. Let me give you an example. Let's say you haven't dated for a while, you're just alone, and it's good. Maybe you just decided to focus on your career or your studies or whatever. So you haven't had a chance to feel sexy. And now you're ready. Now you're ready. You want a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? And so you want to wake up this quality, sexiness. Do whatever you have to do to be in the feel of it. Meaning, do whatever you have to do to feel sexy. For some of us, that would be like getting into an outfit that makes you feel confident. For others, it might be going to a gym, working out, making your body look really good, getting fit, whatever, right? And for other people, it might be like actually flirting a little with strangers that you're never going to see and just kind of, be a little flirtatious, be a little flirty demon or something. I don't know. Honestly, I'm out of practice, so I don't know. Now, the point here is to feel and know yourself as someone sexy and attractive. You gotta first see yourself as someone attractive for others to see you like that. I had this funny experience that really made an impression in my mind. I met this guy somewhere. I don't remember where, but I met a guy who was physically not my type at all. Physically, he just was not attractive at all. Okay? He was not good looking at all. But then he had this magnetism about him that made him feel weirdly attractive. Did you guys ever have a similar experience like that? People say that it's confidence, but I think it's a bit more than that. I think it's magnetism. Step 2, move. Now, once you feel like your dormant quality is actually waking up, we have to go on to the second step. You gotta move. And by that, what I mean is you gotta physically put yourself in places where people are. This, my friend, I'm sorry to say, cannot be avoided. I know if there was a magic formula for just skipping this step, right? But if you place a magnet by itself with no other metals around, the magnet will not have a chance to realize itself as a magnet. It's not going to know the kinetic power it has to pull other metals to itself. So that's why a magnet by itself is gonna be like an ordinary metal, unless you pick it up and you put it right in the middle of other metals. Then it's going to display its power, right? Just like that, you can't just stay in your apartment by yourself and hope that someone will magically come to you. You being by yourself in your apartment isn't going to give you a chance to display your attractiveness, your power to attract. Okay, so we've established that it's important for you to physically be around other people for you to have a chance to display your attractiveness, your attractive power. Now, the question then is, where are the best places for you to go for your dormant qualities to be activated? I know that sounds weird, right? So where should you go? Where should you go? That's what I'm saying. Well, the answer is that it won't always be the same places as other people. For example, for me, that's not bars, clubs, or big parties. I tend to contract when there's a lot of crowd and noises. I find those environments to be too aggressive and harsh. So my real self can't really come out. But I find myself opening up and becoming playful in small gatherings like dinners and such. So for someone like me, it might be best to meet people at social gatherings like social dinners with friends than putting myself out there at bars and clubs. I don't know how you are, but think about where you feel the most you. Step 3, pull. Now, let's say you've done step 1 and 2. You're a human magnet and you're exuding a magnetic field. And now you're physically in front of people. What's next? Well, you gotta pull. You gotta actually do the pulling. Act of attracting. You gotta do that. All right, so then how do you do that? Well, it's actually kind of easy. It's real easy, guys. You just have to display 2 different kinds of emotion. You got to display a surface emotion and a undercurrent emotion. And those 2 emotions have to be opposing emotions. So let me explain. You know those people that look happy on the surface? And you dig deeper and there's nothing much underneath but more happiness? They're just happy. They're just happy through and through, Well, I would say that those kind of people don't have a strong attractive pull because they're the same. They're not very complicated. They're just the same on the surface as they are underneath. For a strong attractive pull to happen, you have to have 2 opposing emotions. It's probably the reason why so many people love characters who look bad on the outside but are actually sensitive in the inside. We just love complicated characters, It could be any 2 contrasting emotions. You can have this kindness, sweetness about you on the surface, and then underneath there's a little bit of a naughtiness about you, That is so attractive. Or like on the surface, you can look like a rebellious, bold person, but then underneath you can have an undercurrent emotion of just being really innocent and sweet. So yeah, so that's exactly how you create a strong, attractive pull. In conclusion, no, obviously getting into a relationship or finding a person that you love is much more complicated than that. But honestly, if someone had told me these steps, and honestly, if someone had just explained love in this way, I think I might have relaxed enough and kind of understand that there's some kind of science behind like actually meeting people, and it would have helped me. So that's why I'm actually sharing it with you guys. Anyways, I hope that you have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you back here when I post another video. Regards, Ray.